Now, let's talk about Apocalypse.
Let's do
and
it.
I'll tell you why. Because we also, Oscar Isaac is also Apocalypse. Plus, more interesting Apocalypse news came out in recent time. First of all, that movie's filling out.
Yeah.
It is getting
Yeah, lots of people.
many folks are joining that.
But not the Gambit.
But not the Gambit. So
Is what
seemingly.
Maybe. We'll see.
So Channing Tatum came out and said, I'm not going to say exactly anything, but when Gambit is introduced, I would like it to be in such a way. I don't want that character introduced before you can really spend the time to dig in and get to know him. So to me, it sounds like he doesn't want him to pop up in Apocalypse. He wants to wait until Gambit has his own movie before we see Gambit.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like to me.
It's cool. I've made no sort of I've not hidden this fact. I've never actually related to that character at all. I don't really like Gambit. I don't like his power. I don't like his look. I'm not that excited about the movie, although I think Tatum is going to be good for it.
Gambit hater.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that I think that it will be a bad film. I just have not ever related to the character.
It's just not exciting for you.
Like Gambit, Bishop, they're all kind of in the same Cable.
Over there.
All those guys. Like
Cable,
we're not really in sort of like my era of X-Men, so I never really adopted them, and it's fine, whatever. Like there are a lot of people who love Gambit and all that stuff. So cool, but like I'm fine with him not being Apocalypse, obviously, given that statement.
I guess the other thing that I feel about that too is that Channing Tatum is such a big star.
Yeah.
And you already have a really full cast, and obviously with the X-Men, that makes a lot of sense. It's like a team. There's going to be a lot of characters, but there are a lot of characters in this particular film already. Our colleague, Eric Goldman, did have a conversation with Simon Kinberg, who is the writer/producer. And he said that, like Days of Future Past, that this will be a film that really resets that universe. And I'm like, how many timelines and dimensions we got going? But you have to do something about that, because you're going to have to. You're having a lot of people exit. Jennifer Lawrence is leaving after this film.
I think it might be like this is the trilogy of these characters,
and it's done.
And then you won't see you won't see some of the core X-Men after this. I don't think you're going to see.
But you've got some new young blood.
Yeah, exactly.
Coming in.
That's what you're going to do. And I think that's ultimately, we've talked about this a bunch of times, that's what they're going to do with Avengers eventually too, is they can't just say indefinitely, we're going to have these dudes on this team until they're 70 years old.
And Star Wars.
It's got to phase people out. Yeah. And Star Wars. Probably for the foreseeable future, we'll get a forward to that Star Wars story. You know, like they've only said through episode 9, but I guarantee we're going to see more episodes in the regular storyline of Star Wars going forward. So yeah, it's going to be overlapping people, I think.
Yeah, and here the other interesting thing. So in talking about how they're approaching Apocalypse, which again I think you have to end this trilogy if you're going to have Apocalypse in it, because it's Apocalypse, and who are you going to get after that? That's like going to be.
I mean, the name of the movie kind of gives it away.
Well, and what character are you going to get after that? That's going to be the big bad after Apocalypse, this
you've
is
done Sentinels.
This is the game changer. So he had some interesting things to say about their approach to the character in terms of the look, and working with Simon Kinberg about, Apocalypse can change his molecules, and he can look like many different things, and how far do you go with that in terms of the technology?
Right.
They're taking a very biblical approach to the gathering of the Horsemen.
Right.
He was a big fan of the Archangel storyline as a kid. He went after the movie. He went after the role because of that. So I think that's going to be one of the more interesting aspects for him to play out.
I think we're going to start I think Angel is in it, but we've said Archangel is going to be
First of all, Bryan Singer, that's a part of that story, right? Bryan Singer said it's not a nice angel. That's kind of a big hint.
Yeah.
They talk about the gathering of the 4 horsemen. He's death.
It's really interesting.
And look at the concept art.
It's really interesting that they're taking Angel and turning him into Archangel in the same movie, really, because the last time we saw Angel was Ben Foster, but this is basically going to be brand new Angel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Archangel.
Yeah.
And the other interesting thing about that is the costume.
Mm-hmm.
It could look like the Vision or something like that, the way it's drawn in the comics.
Yeah, but did you see any of the concept art?
I haven't seen the concept art.
Yeah, it looks very cool. To me, it does.
Describe it. I haven't seen it.
I mean, it looks like very warring angel. I mean, it looks militant. It looks like that version of. I mean, you can see where they're drawing from the comic, you know, and then taking their own route. And it looks, if you think about what angels are, even in terms of the Bible, I cannot believe we're going here, but we're going to just really quickly. But if you think about like Michael, right?
Right.
These are warring figures.
Yeah, for sure.
These are figures.
Lucifer.
Like these are figures that were like in battle and battle torn. And so I think it's a very interesting approach to this character, and certainly in terms of the four horsemen of the apocalypse and the biblical relevance of that.
They're taking
idea.
all their cues from Sleepy Hollow's Four Horsemen.
I think probably not.
Probably not going to.
Probably not. Okay, that's Apocalypse.
Apocalypse.
What are you guys looking most forward to seeing in Apocalypse? Is it?
Apocalypse himself? Archangel? Gambit? No, not Gambit.
It's not going to be Gambit, so that option is out.
But yeah, what are you looking forward to? Tell us.